All right, we are off. Yeah, you see it in the cars? Lots of cars this morning. More cars, and we're good. Off we go. Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another day. Notice a little bit different setting here. I am currently on my way to drop my son off at daycare. So now that we finally have a second car between my wife and I, now that we finally got a new car for my wife, I have a car again. She's not using my car. So I'm able to take him back to daycare, which means that I'll be able to get a hell of a lot more done around the house. I won't be stuck at home. Well, I should say stuck, but I won't be with him all day. And yeah, basically it's just going to be back to kind of how things were before her car died. So anyway, off to take him to daycare, and then we're going to get back home and we are going to hit chest. So yeah, today is going to be a push day with an emphasis on chest. So we're going to be starting out there, then move into some shoulders, and I'll probably finish off with some arms and maybe calves, depending on how I'm feeling and how long I'm in the gym. So yeah, that's kind of my overall plan. Breaking it down even further, going to be starting off chest with, usually I like to do like a cable fly or like some kind of push-up just as a basic warm-up. And then from there move into some type of pressing movement. Now, because like I've mentioned before, my shoulder has been feeling a little funny the past couple weeks. Gonna see how pressing feels. For me personally, I've always had more of an issue with an incline press as opposed to a flat press, just in how it affects my shoulder. So I'll see. I would prefer to do an incline, like maybe dumbbell or barbell press. I don't know if he's watching everything go by in the back seat. But no, I would prefer to do like an incline barbell or dumbbell bench to start. But we'll see how my shoulder's feeling. And if it doesn't like incline, I might go to a flat, see how that feels. And if that really doesn't, if neither of those work, I have been able to do like a cable fly press or a lever arm machine press. Those have both been solid movements that have not affected my my shoulder at all recently. So if worst comes to worst, I'll switch over to probably those two movements. But yeah, that's kind of the basic gist of my start and kind of why I'm just talking things through. So yeah, after I finish off with some type of pressing movement, whatever my shoulder allows, I will move into a flying movement. So just cable flies, maybe an incline cable fly. I'm not sure yet. Have to see, because again, this is kind of like the start of a new, I don't want to say block, a new wave, I guess you could say. So basically just going through and kind of changing things up, because I've been on the same basic exercises for like the past 6-8 weeks. So kind of wanting to change things up a little bit and try something new. So yeah, we'll do some type of flying movement. Don't know exactly what. And then probably finish off with... Oh, really? Haven't taken any pre-workout or anything yet. What am I thinking? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure yet. So I'll probably do some type of cable fly and then move into... I don't know. Chest is a pretty damn basic... It's a pretty damn basic muscle group when you really get down to it. There's not a whole lot that you can really do for it. It's pressing movements and flying movements, and that's pretty much about it, really. Now, I mean, yeah, you can break down pressing movements into a whole bunch of different stuff. You've got barbell, dumbbell, incline, decline, flat, push-ups, all that kind of stuff. But when you really kind of break it down, especially in a home gym setting where you don't have access to a lot of like specialty machines, it tends to be fairly simple, and I don't want to say limited, because you're not really limited, but it just tends to be a fairly simple muscle group to train. It's just lots of different types of pressing movements, and then like cable flies. So yeah, like I said, I'll have to see how pressing feels. I do have a wide array of specialty bars that I could try and alleviate my shoulder if it's not feeling good. But we'll just kind of play it by feel, really, is kind of the whole name of the game today for chest. Once we finish off with chest, then I will be moving into some shoulders. Now, for shoulders specifically, I tend to prefer a lot of lateral raise movements. That's what I have found works best for my shoulders, what they respond to best. So I will generally be starting off with a lateral raise, usually dumbbell, because I can go a little bit heavier. The resistance curve on dumbbells is not great, but I like starting out there because I'll usually be a bit fresher, and I can kind of use a little bit more weight, throw stuff around, and just kind of have fun with it. Whether that's optimal or not, I don't care. I'm not in there to be as optimal as possible. I'm in there to enjoy myself and just have a good time. So yeah, that's where we're gonna start, and then move into maybe like some machine lateral raises or a cable lateral raise, something with a little better resistance curve to kind of work the entire range of motion. And depending on if I'm able to do pressing, if I'm not able to do any kind of like heavy compound presses, I'll probably move into a front raise of some type just to hit the front delts. If I'm able to do like a nice kind of flat bench or incline bench and it feels good, then I won't worry about hitting the front delts, just because usually with any kind of pressing movements, you're going to work the front delts enough to stimulate growth. And unless your front delts are a muscle group that are particularly lagging or you're trying to emphasize, which I am not, then yeah, usually you don't need to train them. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And then if that all works out, I'll end up doing some forearm work at the end, just like some cable forearms or dumbbell forearms or something, maybe like some static holds. We'll have to see. And then finish it off with like 4 or 5 sets on the leg press for calves. So yeah, overall, pretty standard push workout. Nothing too crazy about it. So yeah, that's the plan. I am almost to his daycare, so I'm going to drop him off. On the way home, I'm going to down my pre-workout. Pre-workout, it is 1 scoop of hydraulic axe and sledge, half a scoop of DBAP, again axe and sledge, 5 grams creatine, 2.5 grams of beta-alanine, a teaspoon of salt, and what else? I think that's it. I think that is it. Yeah, that's it for my pre-workout stack. So we are going to check back in, or I am going to check back in when we get back to the gym. I've got the garage heater preheating right now. One of the nice parts about having that set up, especially through a smart controlled plug or switch, I'm able to program it, control it from anywhere. So if I forgot to turn it on before I left, I could open up my app right now on my phone, turn it on right now, and have it preheating before I get home. Oh, excuse me, god damn it, that was a weird burp. But anyway, I am gonna go, because like I said, we are just about to his daycare, so I will see you guys in the gym once we get to our first working set of whatever type of pressing movement I end up doing. Yeah. All right, so getting into the possibly first working set. We'll see how this feels, whether or not I treat this as my like kind of final acclimation set, basically final warm-up, or whether I go all out and use this as my first working set. I'm gonna keep the reps a little bit higher, so because I'm still kind of like I've talked about before, my shoulder, I'm not gonna be going super heavy, so I'm gonna aim for like 10 to 12, 13, 14 reps, a little bit higher volume, because I find that doesn't put as much stress on my shoulders as opposed to going a lot heavier and lower volume. But anyway, getting into the first set here, I've got 60s on the spot grips. So the spot grips technically weigh like 10 pounds, or they add 10 pounds roughly, which means that this is equivalent of 70s. And yeah, we're just gonna see how this feels. I have been feeling really good. I've got the bench on a very low incline, so it's not completely flat. It's only at, I believe, like 15 degrees roughly. And it's been feeling really good, so I haven't had any issues so far. So yeah, let's just get into this first set and see how it feels. Come on. Don't smack my head. Get set here. Up. Let's take this one all the way. All right. Oops, sorry, Luna. Don't smack my head. So, that felt pretty damn good. Probably gonna avoid doing the partials at the end just because once I start doing the partials, kind of form tends to break down a little bit. And I was starting to feel a little bit of my shoulder right towards the end there. So, I'll probably avoid those partials on the next set. Just do one more set here. And then we'll move on to, I'm thinking cable fly presses. So again, another kind of pressing variation, a little bit higher volume, like 12, 15 reps. And then we'll move into, actually no, after this, I'm gonna move into lever arm machine presses so that I can do kind of, again, a little heavier compound movement. And then we'll move into fly presses and probably flies to finish out the chest. So one thing you guys probably are not familiar with, at least a lot of people out there I know are not familiar with them, are these spot grips. So these guys are basically a dumbbell, or technically you could even use them for a barbell, spotting system. So as you saw, once I hit failure, I basically just let go and they catch wherever I let go. These are awesome for a home gym when you don't have like a spotter. If you want to do any kind of heavy dumbbell work. They are a little bit awkward to use as opposed to just using a straight dumbbell. But for me personally, I like them just because they add that safety aspect and they allow me to, when I want to, really push past failure into those kind of partials and negatives and things like that. I can do like rest pauses if I really wanted to with dumbbells, or again, even with a barbell, and not have to worry about getting injured or getting pinned or anything like that. So these are awesome. The downside to them is they are expensive. These things retail for about $500 for the pair. I got them luckily on Black Friday for half off. It was apparently a pricing error on the actual website, but the two guys that run Spot Grips, it's a two-person company, very small company. They were awesome and honored anybody that actually got in on that deal. So 2 thumbs up to them. Definitely like when a company does that kind of stuff. They took a pretty big hit because they sold quite a few of them. I believe they sold 38 pairs at that errored pricing. They took a pretty big hit on that, but they honored all of them that were sold for that price. Now, would I recommend them at their original $500 price tag? It's a hard sell. The only time I would personally say yes is if you don't have anything else in the gym that you need. These are, or if you do a lot of dumbbell work specifically, and you're in like a garage gym or a home gym environment where you don't have access to a spotter. That in that instance, in that circumstance, I'd say they are absolutely worth the price. However, for somebody who's like just starting out a home gym, you don't have a lot of equipment, you don't even necessarily have a full set of dumbbells, I personally would not recommend them in that case. These are very much a niche item for somebody who does a lot of heavy dumbbell work, who works out alone and doesn't have a spotter. And yeah, in that circumstance specifically, I would say they're absolutely worth the original price tag. For me, if I hadn't gotten them on sale, honestly, I don't know that I would have purchased them for the 500, just because I don't typically do a lot of dumbbell work, and I've never really found the need for them. However, because I got them on sale, I absolutely love them. I'm going to use them fairly regularly anytime I'm doing any kind of like dumbbell pressing like this. I have not used them yet for dumbbell overhead pressing. I might have to figure out a different solution on how I attach them to the rack because of how high up I would be when I'm pressing. But no, overall, I really like them. The build quality on them is fantastic. The build quality matches the price point, that's for sure. But it's just a question of whether or not you'd actually get value out of them at that $500 price point. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'm going to do one more set here, and then we'll move on to the lever arm chest press, machine-based chest press. I'm going to attach it to my cables in the back, so you'll see how I do that in a minute. Let's go. Now, I messed up the recording on the last set there of the dumbbell bench. I managed to get 10, I guess you could say 10.5 reps. 10 reps plus I did a negative after that 10th rep. So just because I'm able to completely let go and have the weights be safe at the end there with the spot grips. So yeah, 10.5 reps, but like I said, accidentally double tapped the record button, so I didn't get the whole set, or I didn't get any of the set actually. So you guys will just have to take my word on it. But anyway, I am getting ready to set up here for a lever arm machine chest press. Now, one thing with lever arms, there's gonna be a lot of talking in this video, so hopefully it's not too long. But with lever arms, a lot of people tend to hate on them because they take so long to set up. At least that's what they say. The big thing with me personally is I love them for a lot of different movements, but the thing is you have to take the time to get to know them, I guess you could say. You have to figure out what movements specifically work well for your training style. And once you find a movement, you have to just kind of memorize or take note of how you set it up so that it's very easy and very quick to go through and set up the lever arms where you want them or where you need them. So for me, like for this movement in particular, I've done this movement a whole bunch of times, so I know exactly where to set it up. So it literally takes me like less than 60 seconds to go through and adjust the lever arms to where they need to be for this particular movement. And that's the same thing with a lot of the different movements that I do using my lever arms, is I go through, I'll take the time when I'm not working out, play around with them, figure out different movements, different variations that work really well for them. And then I either write down in like a notebook or in an app on my phone or take pictures of all the different settings, the hold positions, the handle positions, the holes here, whatever my bench is set at, things like that, so that I'm able to just very quickly go back, reference them, and then set things up as quickly as possible, basically minimizing the downtime. And another way to minimize the downtime even further is either throw the lever arm variation in at the start of your workout so that you can set it up beforehand, and then you're not having any downtime at all. Or if you have it in the middle of your workout, the other thing you can do is just during your rest periods, adjust it little by little. So if I'm doing an exercise prior to this, when I'm resting, I'll come over, I'll set up one lever arm, go back, do another set, come back, set up the other lever arm, go back, finish out that exercise, and then I'm ready to go without any downtime at all. So it's all about being smart about how you use them. We're gonna go through and set up the lever arm machine chest press. I've actually got notches or chalk marks specifically on my rack, which you guys may see occasionally, that indicate exactly where I need to place things. And then for this particular movement, I prop my bench in a certain position. And again, I've done all of the experimentation beforehand, so I know exactly where to place it. Just like that. And then I've got these guys that I just kind of leave set up, and I just attach them to my cables and attach them right here on my handles. Got another one over here. Do the same exact thing. Just like this. Right here, around the handle. I'll set the starting weight just kind of light so I can do a warm-up set. Bring the bench up. About there. Ooh. And then just push it into place. And bada boom, bada bang. Bob's your uncle. We are in position and ready to go. So from right here. Just, I don't know if you can see me, just like that. So let me come around here so you can actually see me. So yeah, that took all of less than 60 seconds to go through and set these up for a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? A very beneficial movement. This mimics a lot of different cable machine presses. And like I said, it's super simple to set up. You just have to know where to position everything, so you can just take that time when you're not working out to figure that out, and then go through and you have it all ready to go in a very minimal amount of time. So yeah, that's the next movement is what this is what the next movement is going to be. So I'm going to go through, do probably one more warm up with a little heavier weight, and then we will get into the first working set. All right, set one. Oh, fuck. Whew. All right. Gonna do, let's do two more, and then I'm just gonna finish with flies. I think that'll be a good workout. And then we'll move into shoulders. That's not gonna be the end of it. All right. Come on. Oh, fuck. Okay. One more set. Oh. Now, something I wanted to show you guys really quickly. If you don't have access to something like an Aries for the cable variation of this movement, you can always do plate loaded. So, I'm gonna slap that bad boy on there. You like the new decals? But no, I have got on the lever arms you can see I have got 2 sets of weight horns. One is attached directly to the lever arm, and the second is attached to a 16-inch cross member, which is attached to the lever arm. Now, the reason for this cross member is to change the resistance curve, because another big complaint about lever arms in general is the poor resistance curve. And the way that I have found, there's a couple different ways I've found in particular to combat that. One is using something like a flip down safety and attaching a weight horn like this to the safety and attaching that. That allows you to change the resistance curve. That's an easy attachable and detachable method. But for me, I like to take an additional 16-inch cross member from Rep Fitness. I've got it bolted onto the rack, and this is actually just bolted on using some thumb nuts. So if I want to take it off, it's actually really easy. I don't have to get any tools. I can really just unscrew it without any weight on, take them off. It takes like 30 seconds. But I also have attached a weight horn. And this is so that I can change the resistance curve. It's all about leverages. So they are lever arms, and it's all about the leverage. So yeah, this is, like I said, a different variation for the same movement. I like personally the cable just because it's a little bit more of a consistent weight resistance or consistent resistance profile versus with this, it's gonna be pretty heavy at the bottom, and then it's generally gonna get lighter as you kind of go up just based on how the leverage is. But overall, this is not too bad in terms of a resistance profile doing it this way. I would personally never load plates directly onto the lever arms themselves because that's going to have almost zero resistance at the bottom, and then it's going to be extremely minimal as you get towards lockout, just again because of the leverages. So yeah, let me do a quick set here just to demonstrate it, and then we'll move on to some flies. Woo! Where did my headphones go? There it is. Luna, do you want to go inside? You want to go inside? Is there somebody at the door? I hear everybody barking inside. All right. Where'd my music go? Come on. Whew. All right. Yeah, so like I said, with this one, the way it's set up like this, the resistance profile is not as consistent as when I use the cables. You can see, I mean, 45 pounds here versus 45 pounds on the cable stack was my last set. I was able to get significantly more reps just because of the leverages effectively making this weight lighter. Great for your ego, not as great in terms of just effectiveness. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's a different resistance profile. Setting it up like this is more akin to a plate-loaded hammer strength like decline or incline chest press machine versus setting it up with the cables is more akin to the cable hammer strength style chest press machine or any cable chest press machine. So it's just a difference of how you want to feel the movement, I guess. Two very similar movements with a very different resistance profile. And I might play around with using the plates. I might do the cables. It just kind of depends on how I feel. The plates, like I said, are nice because it gets a little bit lighter towards lockout, more closely mimicking the strength curve of the muscle. But this also would, for me, require a slightly different setup because as you noticed, with the cable setup, I don't actually start the movement until about here. So I've got like 3 or 4 inches, and that's how this is all set up, is for this kind of starting position. Versus here, the starting position is all the way at the back, so I would therefore have to move my bench backwards, and just changes the setup a little bit. And again, that's where I talked about before, figuring all of that setup out when you're not working out so that you can just instantly go through and set it up really quickly during your workouts. So yeah, anyway, I have rambled on long enough. I'm gonna move some stuff around now and get into some cable flies. I'm thinking I'm gonna do an incline cable fly off of the bench. So I gotta move these things, oh, excuse me, fuck, all over the place. So I will check back in with you in just a second. On to my last exercise here for chest. Gonna be hitting 2 sets of the incline cable fly. So I've got my bench set up using the Prime rotate handles for this movement. It's just a different type of handle, nothing crazy. Doesn't really make a huge difference. I just like the way they feel. But no, we're gonna aim for like 12, 15, up to 20 reps if possible. So yeah, hello. Mwah. Oh, fuck. All right, I gotta drop the weight down, and then we're gonna hit one more set, and then move on to shoulders. Whew. Come on, that's it, that's it. Oh, that's it. All right, on to shoulders. On to the first working set of shoulders. Just gonna be doing dumbbell lateral raises like I talked about in the car. With this though, personally, the way I like to do dumbbell lateral raises is kind of a combination of an upright row lateral raise. So you'll see what I mean here as I do them, but just kind of keep that in mind. It's not a strict lateral raise. It's got a little bit of a rowing aspect to it. This is what works best for me. All right. So yeah, as you saw with that, it's not a strict lateral raise and it's not a strict upright row. It's a combination of the two. So I basically am coming out and then up. It starts as a lateral raise, and then it transitions into an upright row with the goal of getting my elbows about 90 degrees to the ground. So if I were to go from right here, if I take down, you can see I've got a 90-degree angle between my bicep and my forearm but I'm at a slight here. So I'm not bringing my hands out to my side. They're coming out in front just a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna do 2 more sets of that. And then we'll move on to some other lateral raise, whether that's a machine or a cable. I'm undecided as of now, but we will figure it out. Oh shit. Alright, one more. Changed my mind here on, I'm feeling pretty good, my shoulders are feeling pretty good. So next up is going to be some upright rows, barbell upright rows. Don't come at me for the pink plates. These are my wife's plates. They're just what are over here. But no, gonna be hitting like 10 to 12 reps here, so going a little heavier. And yeah, I did a couple warm-up sets and this is feeling pretty good. So this is gonna be my next movement. And then I'll probably finish off with like 3 sets of the cable lateral raises. And that'll be my shoulder workout. But for right now, let's get into this one here. Oh, I need to clean this bar. Let's get into this set and just grip it and rip it. Try and control the negatives as much as possible. Alright, that's good. Oh yeah. 1 or 2 more sets of that. But no, you see, with this, a big key to this movement is 1, hand positioning. So taking a very similar hand position to where my hands are at the peak of my lateral raises, basically to the point where when I'm at, when my upper arm is parallel to the floor, I have as close to a 90-degree angle between my bicep and my forearm as possible. And that's personally for me where it feels best and where I feel like I'm able to target the lateral head of my delt best as opposed to front head of the delt. Excuse me. So yeah, that's just kind of the way I'm doing them. You can change the grip up however you want. If you move it in closer, you're gonna end up working more the front head of the delt. If you go a little bit wider and you lean forward a little more, you end up working more rear delt. It actually becomes more of like a rear delt row at that point, which is a great movement for the rear delts, but I don't do rear delts on shoulder day. I do them during my pull workouts, as you guys saw last week. So yeah, I'm gonna do 1 more set here and then move into some cable lateral raises. And that's gonna be the workout. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's it. All right, on to cable lateral raises. My hat is on backwards still. I just realized that. Hopefully you guys have been able to hear me. I didn't realize my hat was on backwards. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Come on, get off me. Oh, fuck. All right, one more. Forgot my hat. All right, so finished up the shoulder portion of the workout. Let's take a quick look at the pump, and then I'm gonna go inside and get some friggin' food. Oh man, come on. There we go. Hair is getting everywhere. Hair is getting a little out of control when I don't have it in a hair tie. But, whew, damn. Come on, there we go. Whew. Shoulders are looking freaking wide. I like that. Let's bring this down a touch more on the exposure. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, man. Can definitely tell a good difference in the pump and just my overall workout today after having had one, more food, because I have switched over, like I was talking about before, into a maintenance as opposed to being in a fairly strict deficit, and then also getting enough rest. Funny what actually being able to rest and recover will do for you. No, let's just take this off and take another quick look. I'll use a sweat belt as well. For those that don't know, sweat belt, I use it in the garage because it is cold. I don't care about like the toning benefits of it are absolute bullshit. It's just nice because it keeps you warm. It keeps your core warm. The vast majority of your blood circulates through your core, which helps keep your overall body temperature warmer, which helps maintain and get a better pump. So in a cold setting like the garage, where it's currently, I think, like 65-ish degrees in here, it helps dramatically. I mean, you can see, at least, I don't know if you can see with this, how much this is covered in like sweat. It is nasty. I wash it pretty much every day. I wash it pretty much every day. If I didn't have that on, I wouldn't be sweating at all because I would barely be warm enough to maintain a good pump. One of the downsides of a home gym is keeping it warm, unless you're in like a basement or something where you're indoors and you can regulate the temperature of your whole house. I've got the garage heater. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but I've talked about that. It does a good job of keeping the garage like between 60 to 70 degrees. Unless it gets like really, really below freezing, or I mean not freezing, really, really below zero outside, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. If it gets below that, then it can kind of struggle to keep the garage above 60. But for the most part, throughout the winter, using that guy for like an hour a day prior to working out gets the garage in anywhere from like 65 to 70 degrees in here, even as low as about 0 degrees outside, which is not too shabby. My ideal temperature would probably be closer to around, closer to around 85-ish degrees. God damn, look at that. I'm excited to see where we can take this bulk. Oh yeah. But no, as I was saying, keeps the garage decently warm enough. And I like during the summer when it gets nice and hot in here. One of the reasons I like a garage gym as opposed to like having it indoors is you can throw the garage doors open during the summer, which you guys will see plenty of that this year, once the temperature warms up. And yeah, it's just a nice atmosphere and setting. But no, that was a damn good workout. I am feeling really good, even though I haven't had a whole lot to eat today. I've had 40 grams of rice, 6 ounces of chicken, 25 grams cauliflower rice, and 50 grams of broccoli. And then also in my intro workout, which is somewhere around here, was 20 grams of carbohydrates from, Gatorade powder. So just basically 20 grams of sugar. So yeah, overall, I am feeling damn good. Looking fucking good. Gee, look at that. So let's do one more pose here and then call it a day. What should I do? Most muscular. What do you guys like? Most muscular here? Or I'm getting behind the light, or getting in front of the light. Back up just a touch. Here we go. Oh, I don't know. I just like these kind of like poses like right here. I can definitely my chest, in terms of muscle groups that I want to try and emphasize more this bulk, are my chest and my calves. Everything else is pretty proportionate, but my chest is absolutely a muscle that I want bigger. I want just those nice giant chesticles that just like a nice big shelf, which is going to involve more incline work, which we'll see as my shoulder is getting better. I'm able to kind of go back towards incline, which today, like the low incline dumbbell bench felt really good until I started doing the partials. So just going to keep taking it easy for a couple more weeks and I should be good to go again. But no, that is probably the muscle group that I want to put the most emphasis into on this bulk. So we'll see how things go and what we end up playing around with. But all right, that's it. I am done. So I will see you guys tomorrow. It is going to be another pull workout. And specifically, if you recall on the last pull workout, did I film the last one? Yeah, I started off with a pull workout. On the last one, I did stiff leg deadlifts as my posterior chain hip hinge compound movement. This time around, I will be swapping that out for, hip thrusts. Work on that booty, work on the glutes. Glutes, hamstrings, just kind of the whole posterior chain. And then I also will be doing a lever arm rack pull, or possibly even just a regular rack pull. I'll have to see how things feel, whether or not I swap it out a little bit or change it up. But that's kind of the initial plan for tomorrow's workout. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go get some food.